Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale for spring 2022. No, this video is not sponsored. I have done this video numerous times and I personally get super excited when Ulta does these sales. However, when my flyer came in the mail yesterday, I was looking through and I thought, there is no point doing a video because there's like 2 days of good things that I personally would recommend or that I'm interested in. But then I did a deep dive on Ulta's website to see the online version of the beauty steals for each day. And lo and behold, I found a lot of hidden gems. So I wanted to do this video to make sure that you don't miss out on those. If you're only looking at the calendar here, you're gonna be surprised and miss out on some good things. Now, I went through my collection. I pulled out the items that are going to be featured in the sale, and I will share some swatches, talk a little bit about the formula of those items. And then there are also a couple of items that I have personally on my list that I have not tried, but I'm interested in, and I will share those with you. If you're new here, be sure you hit that subscribe button. Now let's get started. Kicking things off with Monday, March 14th, the first hidden gem that I found online are the Nude Sticks Nudies. Yes, you can tell I have an obsession. I have, let's see, 6 colors. I have a mix of, I have a couple of matte versions, and then I also have a couple of the Bloom. The Bloom versions have a little more of a satin finish. They are not shimmery, so don't let that throw you off. And in fact, one of my all-time favorite Nudies Bloom sticks is Sweet Peach Peony. And it is this shade right here. It looks like it's really not gonna do much, but this one really just gives the cheeks a nice, healthy glow. And you can see there is a lot of buildable color. These you can use on your cheeks, lips. It does say eyes, but I don't ever use them on the eyes. They do have a brush on the end that is removable so that you can actually wash it. So it's a great on the go item, but this is probably my all-time favorite, most worn color. And then after falling in love with this, I did purchase a couple of other in the Bloom category. This one, which is Cherry Blossom. This one is so pretty as well, much more of a cool tone pink. And obviously you don't have to wear it this full-on color. You can blend it in with your fingers or with a kind of synthetic brush like this one from Luxie. That's my favorite way. But all of the ones that I have tried, I have loved. One that is a new love that I think I got last year when they did a sale is this one, which is called Bareback. And this one is actually one of the, I believe this one is one of the matte versions. And I have really enjoyed this. This one, when I put it on my cheeks, I thought, oh, wow, that's a really beautiful neutral rose color. So don't miss out on those. Those are going to be featured for half price. So they're going to be $17. On Thursday, March 17th is one of my longtime favorites, and this brand has come newly to Ulta in the last 2 years or so, and it's the KVD Tattoo Liquid Liners. Specifically, you need to check out Mad Max Brown. This particular formula only comes in 2 shades, black and Mad Max Brown. Why I love this shade is because it is an almost black brown, if that makes any sense. So when I don't want quite the stark, harsh black line, this is perfect. So it doesn't even hardly look brown on your eyes. It gives a great bit of definition, but also the point on this is a brush tip. So it is super soft and you have no trouble getting the liquid down to the brush tip because it does have a shaker ball, but it doesn't just ooze out everywhere. So I find it really easy to use. And again, the colors. So this liner was actually shown in the paper flyer, but one item that was not shown on the same day, Thursday, March 17th, is the DHC cleansing oil. If you've never used a cleansing oil to help remove your makeup, you really need to check one out. And the DHC one is up there with one of my top favorites. I think the Bare Minerals Cleanse Off Oil is still my favorite, but this one is a very close second. It is made from olive oil, and so it's really good for your skin. It won't strip your skin, and yet I feel like you can easily rinse it off and wash it off, and it doesn't leave that awful oily film on your skin. So definitely check that out. It will be available for $14.50. But let's move on to Saturday, March 19th, and they are going to have the Ofra highlighters. If you've never tried Ofra highlighters and you like a very, very bright beaming highlighter, then you need to check out the Ofra highlighters. They are super soft and buttery. This particular shade, I don't know that they still have, but this is Glazed Donut. I own about 3 or 4 of the Ofra highlighters, but they are smooth, buttery, and they will really pack a punch. And yet there is no visible sparkle found in any of the ones I own. So I would highly recommend, again, that's Saturday, March 19th. And those are going to be $17.50 to $20. So depending on which shade you choose. Moving on to Sunday, March 20th, in the flyer, it does show these, and these are the Buxom Full-On Plumping Lip Creams. These are the ones, if you've ever seen them in the store with the frosted glass, these are ones that do not contain any shimmer. And I feel like the color opacity on these is greater. So you're gonna get more full-on color along with the gloss, along with that plumping power. This one is, what is this one? This one is French Martini. I'm not sure exactly all of the colors that are available. My all-time favorite that I have used multiple tubes of is the White Russian. I also have a White Russian Sparkle, which I'll talk about in a moment. But the lip creams, I would recommend these if you like a gentle plumping and you want a little more color but no sparkle. Now, something that's not in the flyer is moving to Tuesday, March 22nd. And they are on, even online, it's a little deceptive because all they show is a Bare Minerals mineral lip gloss. But then you click on that and it shows that the entire Bare Minerals Mineralist line, which includes their eyeshadow palettes and their eyeliners, all 3 of these items are on sale that day. I know, right? Sneaky. Okay, now, within that group, what would I recommend? I would actually recommend the Bare Minerals Mineralist lip glosses. I think that these are really nice. I have several. Shocker, I know. My favorite is this shade, which is Ingenuity. And this one and one other have a hint of sparkle, but most of the other ones do not, but they actually have quite a lot of color. So that is this one right there. So you can see it has barely any sparkle. There's no plumping. So if plumping ingredients bother you, you don't have to worry about that with these. But these are just really comfortable, and I do find them to be pretty long wearing, even though they're not super sticky, but they also don't just melt off your lips. This is an example of how much color pigment you can get in this formula. And this particular shade is Hope. So great formulation, would recommend those. And then the Bare Minerals Mineralist eyeliners. These were a new release last year. Obviously, I've got 3 now. This was the first one I purchased and still my favorite. It's called Garnet. These are super soft, like you almost need to be a little careful not to get too much pressure on them. They're an automatic liner, so you don't have to sharpen them. But you can see, even though this is garnet, kind of red, it still has neutrality in it, and I just find this shade very wearable and especially flattering if you have green eyes. So overall, I do recommend the eyeliners. Now onto the eyeshadow palettes. I've talked about these briefly before, but it's been several months. The only one out of these 3 that I actually really still enjoy and would recommend is the Ultra Natural. I know that's probably surprising, but this one I just found this color scheme to actually create a full look for me. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for, even as in a small palette. These do have a removable section so that you can actually recycle the packaging, whatever, you can size it down. The only thing with these is that they are not super pigmented upon initial application. So you do have to build up the colors. The ones in this palette, I feel it build up nicely. The other two, I just really kind of struggled with. So if you're interested in those eyeshadows, check out the Ultra Natural. Thursday, March 24th, an item that is featured in the flyer is the Murad. It's the Oil Control Primer and Sunscreen all in one. I've never tried that, but I have heard great things about it, especially for oily skin. So that is on my personal list to try. I've just not wanted to pay the full price to try that item, so it's definitely going on my shopping list at 50% off. Friday, March 25th, there's a lot of surprises here. First off, online, they show a picture of my beloved Lorac Pro Contour Palette. This is the second one of these that I have owned. I still love it. I even used it today. There is just something about this formulation, the tones in here. I use this year round because you have light, medium, and deep contouring. You have 2 matte cream shades, and then this one has just a subtle, soft hint of glow, very brightening. I just find this to be very user-friendly, and it comes with my favorite contouring brush that I use to contour my nose. Now, that's wonderful, but when you click on that image online, you also get a picture of a bunch of Lime Crime eyeshadow palettes and the Persona Identity 2 palette. That's the one that's more colorful. I have that in my summer eyeshadow collection, so I don't have it in front of me to pull out. But all of those eyeshadow palettes are going to be 50% off. Now, I have had very little experience with Lime Crime eyeshadows, but if there is something that has been on your list from that brand, check it out on March 25th. Moving on to Sunday, March 27th, this is the last week of the sale, and there are 2 items that are not shown on there. So the first one is the Buxom Full-On Lip Polishes. Now these have the completely transparent tube on them versus the matte. And these are the ones that contain sparkle, and they're my absolute favorite. And the one color, I told you White Russian Sparkle was gonna be coming in, that's this one right here. So they took the shade White Russian from the cream formulation, added sparkle to it, and I absolutely love it. It is a neutral, nudish pink with just enough sparkle. It's one of my absolute favorites. 2 others that I have purchased multiple times throughout the years are Celeste and Clair, and both of these just have a lot of sparkly glitter, but what's great is you never feel those glitter particles on your lips. They do have that plumping characteristic to them, but it's not painful. And I find Buxom lip polishes to be some of the most long-lasting glosses. Now, also on that day, they do show a pressed version of the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. And they also, though, include the loose mineral veil. And I particularly love the original with SPF 25. The reason why I love this is because it's especially great for summertime, because I have a full face of makeup on most of the time. And if I need to reapply sunscreen, how do we do that, right? I'm not gonna be slathering on lotion over the top. So this is a great way to do it. It's fully translucent. It does not add any cakiness to the top of your makeup. It just kind of mattifies everything, but it adds that SPF 25. I have also used this on bare skin, kind of over moisturizer when I was out at the lake for several days, and I did not burn. I regularly reapplied it. It's not waterproof, but this has worked so well, so I always try to keep this on hand. The final item on that day, it is featured in the magazine, and it is the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Liner. I'm not interested in the black. I've tried that, it's fine, but I'm interested in the white one because I want to do some fun little eyeliner flicks at the end. And I feel like the white liquid liner would really be fun to play with. And the great thing is, just like the KVD liners, it's waterproof. So I love a good liquid liner, but it does need to be waterproof, and both of those are. Tuesday, March 29th. If you are not watching this video, you would miss out on one of my all-time favorite lip products. Yes, March 29th has the Smashbox lip liners and lipsticks at half off. Oh my goodness, can you tell? I love these. I own now almost all of the lip liner colors. So this is medium brown, which is one of my smaller pencils, but even smaller, and one that I have a back above is deep mauve. These two are my most used. And then a big surprise was this kind of lighter shade, which is Fair Neutral Rose. So all of them have some neutrality to them, except for the deepest shades. I think there's 3 shades in the deeper end that actually do pack quite a punch. This one is Cranberry. It's beautiful, but yeah, you really don't need a whole lot. So this one's pretty bright, kind of a bright berry shade, and then they have a really dark brown shade. So all of these, I am sure you've heard me talk about these a lot if you've been around here on my channel, but also their lipsticks are a great formulation. So these are the Be Legendary lipsticks, and I would say my favorite is the shade Level Up. Level Up is kind of a peachy nude shade right there. Super pigmented, long wearing, yet creamy. There's no shimmer in any of the shades, but they also don't dry out your lips. So they're long wearing, but you know, they will transfer and wear off eventually, but I just really have been impressed with those lipsticks. And so those are going to be $9.50 to $12. So the liners will be $9.50, the lipsticks $12. Wednesday, March 30th, you don't want to miss this, and it is the Dr. Brandt Microdermabrasion. I have used this for years. Another thing that I always try to keep on hand, and when I'm not using my really intense AHA peel, this is my choice of exfoliant. It will last you a very long time. I feel like you can tailor it for however sensitive your skin is. The particles in here are the microdermabrasion crystals that are super fine, and yet you can really get a good exfoliation. And this is going to be half price at $39.50. This is the time to try this. Friday, April 1st, I am super excited because another hidden gem is one that I had just told my best friend that I was really hoping that Ulta was going to put in their 21 days of beauty sale. And when I opened up the flyer, I was really disappointed. But then I looked online, and this is the Benefit Professional Setting Spray. I have not tried this yet, but I have heard that it's really amazing. And as somebody with very large pores, I am all about trying things that might help blur those pores. So I'm definitely going to be checking this out on Friday, April 1st, especially since it's only going to be $16. Now, the final item on Saturday, April 2nd, is actually featured in the flyer, and it's the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Now, I will say I have mixed feelings on this. I have a mixed relationship with this face base. You'll see I've gotten almost to the end. I have maybe a quarter of it left. And I feel like I go through stages and phases with this where I love it. And then the last time I had really gotten in the groove of using it. And then I started having some breakouts, like some deep breakouts, and I wasn't sure if this was it. So I'm gonna go back to it and finish it up, but I do know this is a very highly loved product, and it's something that personally I just can't spend the $64 to buy at full price. However, to try it and get it at half price, this is the time to do it. So if you've ever been interested in this, try it for $32. Now, the interesting thing about this is while it is kind of proclaimed to work for a number of skin. It's particularly supposed to be good for those of us with combo to oily skin. So I will say that I do feel like it does help keep the oils at bay through the day. So my kind of mixed review, but if you've ever been interested in it, I'm sure you've heard great things about it. Check out the sale on April 2nd. And finally, the other things to be on the lookout for are every week on Friday and Saturday, it says that there are some surprise steals, and all it says is the brand of the surprise steal. So we don't know what we're going to be getting. So the first one I am interested in checking out would be Friday, March 18th. It's something from Too Faced. You know, I'm a big fan, and they have a new eyeshadow palette coming out. I'm sure that's not it, but I'm curious to know. And then the last week on Saturday, it is another Too Faced item on Saturday, April 2nd. So I personally am going to be on the lookout for those. Now, a couple of final details I want to tell you about the sale that you may or may not already know. First of all, if you are a diamond or platinum member in the Ulta Rewards group, you get free shipping on any of the beauty steals. That's a great thing. Second of all is a little secret that I have learned along the way. The sales go active at midnight Central Time. So usually that means that me on the Pacific time zone, I can log in at 10 p.m. my time, and tomorrow's steals are usually available for me to purchase. So if there is something in here that you are really interested in getting, you may want to stay up late that night, because these beauty steals are limited to the stock on hand. There are some that I shared today and some that are in the flyer that are online only. So make sure you're watching out for that. But whether it be something in store or online, it is first come, first serve while stock is available. So just set your alarm on those days that you have something you're really interested in trying out, or stay up late like I plan to do and make sure I make a purchase before I go to bed. Now, if you check the description box below this video or head over to my blog, it's Shirley'sBoxOfChocolates.com. I will have all of the deals broken out by date that I talked about here with links to those products. So I know sometimes it's easier to refer to a typed up version. I'll have pictures and everything on the blog, or check the description box below and I'll have it broken out so you can refer back to this video as well. Thank you as always so much for watching, and happy shopping. Bye.